but he was having to guard Zach. I can't tell you guys how good a player Coleman Hawkins is. It does not show in his numbers. Find me the last time Zach Edey was minus 10 being on the court. Coleman Hawkins was plus 12. Coleman guards him, facilitates offense, played the point for us in the second half, and he was tremendous. But we gave him live ball turnovers. We guarded the second half. We settled in and looked like a really good basketball team, making them guard us. We just held the best offensive team in the country to 29% and no threes. And, you know, the one thing you can't do in this building especially is give up transition threes. I thought Newman was terrific today. And, again, you know, you add Newman to Zach, and I thought we did a great job on Lawyer, taking him completely out of it. But, you know, it was live ball turnovers was the story of the first half, and then great fights. Sincere Harris, Ty, Luke Goody all sparked us off the bench. And, you know, then we come back, get it tied, and we did not execute anything coming out of the timeout. We had a dribble entry play for Matt. Coleman went the wrong way, and we just weren't able to play out of it. But that's on me. I got to be better than that. I thought Terrence got fouled on his drive. I saw his hand just fly back after he got raked. I thought the Morton kid fouled him. But, you know, you're not going to get those calls on the road. But my hat's off to Purdue, and now it's off to the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, Brad. As you said, kind of a tale of two halves. You know, you have a blueprint in the first half and a blueprint in the second half. You know, going into postseason play now, how do you kind of capitalize on what you saw in the second half moving forward?
I mean, every game's got its identity. I mean, you know, they cross-matched. They put Zach on Ty Rodgers, and so we just made Ty a screener, and we got wide open. And we moved and we cut, and it's, you know, it just opened the floor up and, you know, allowed us to touch the paint. We're a little different team with Dane in the ball game. You know, and that's we faced two really big, cumbersome centers. So we've played 5 out, and that's been very, very good for us to do that. Every game's got its own identity. You know, you play Nebraska or you know, Iowa or somebody, and it's a different animal. So it's just what worked tonight.
Brad, as you kind of talked about this kind of being the story of the team, is over the last couple weeks, has there been kind of a common thread between any of the starts, or has it just kind of a different thing each game?
Well, I don't know if there's a common thread. I think it's been our inability to execute on the offensive side early has been real problematic. And it doesn't matter what we draw up. We practice it the day before, and it's this. We just haven't been good enough. You know, you have to execute. You can't just play in one pass and dribble drive against teams in the Big Ten, because they're going to be at the blocks and elbows to help you, and it's gotten us in trouble. Today we missed Jaden, you know, the point guard who, you know, gets us into stuff and handles those things. But again, that's no excuse. We've got to do a better job. I've got to do a better job.
So, Brad, with Luke being his 8th game back, could you talk to us about the dimension that he brings coming into the Big Ten tournament and March beyond?
Yeah, shooter. He's tough as heck. He dives on the floor for loose balls. He never misses an assignment. Yeah, I mean, today's how I envisioned Luke all year. You know, he did everything that maximized his ability. He got overzealous one time on a dribble drive. It's not really his deal, but man, he does everything right, and he does everything everything to help his team win.
Coach, Purdue was very aggressive in the passing lanes with their deflections and, again, forcing those turnovers. Just how do you combat that when they're, you know, getting deflections the way they do?
Toughness. We've seen that from multiple teams. I'm not sure it was as much their defense as just our inability and panic. We never settled down. We just, you know, when we did earn it, I mean, first play of the game, we've run 100 times. We still haven't run it yet. You realize I'm sitting my ass at a press conference, we still haven't run the first play of the game yet that we drew up. And, I mean, that's a pretty big problem when we're not disciplined enough yet to run stuff. And we can't let a little ball pressure bother us. So, yeah, I mean, we've handled it. Coleman gives us that nice option. Second half's much better. And then we're 5 out, we're playing, and Ty Rodgers can handle the ball. We could have put him in, bringing the ball up all night against Zach Edey. Ty's been a backup point guard for us. So it's my fault first half. The first half's all me. I just was, I didn't have these guys prepared the right way.
What did maybe Coleman do in particular that made life tougher on Zach today?
Well, he had a lot of help. And it was nice. I think one of those games more that Zach got a little out of rhythm with a couple early fouls, and so Matt set him a long time. But you let him camp at the front of the rim. Coleman's got great length. He contested him. We were swarming in the second half. The first half we didn't. But they never played in the half court very little in the first half. It was all off our turnovers. But Coleman's been tremendous. He's smart, and it was a good day for him on the defensive side against him.
Hey, Brad, after Illinois-Michigan the other night, how much do you think that took the guts out of you, the air out of you, the start of this game, and the resiliency you guys had in the second half tonight?
Well, obviously it's a double overtime game, and that's an easy look, because I think Michigan's really good. That's an easy thing to say, but hell, we're tougher than that. And I thought it was, I think we were ready to play. We played really hard the first half. We just didn't play very smart. And again, I give Purdue a ton of credit. They were amped. It was their day, but. Year ago we were doing what they're doing right now, so they deserve it.
Brad, at the end of the game, you're coming down, you get that timeout in 57 seconds. Were you trying to get a 2-for-1, go quick there, or was it?
Yeah, we ran a little play called dribble entry to Matt, and Coleman went the other way. Went to Terrence's side, and there's a little pin down in that. We were trying to get Ty to pin down with Zach Edey guarding him, so if they did switch it, Zach was on Matt, and absolutely, we've been one of the best in the country at 2-for-1s. We've maximized those situations. We were trying to go quick, and then you saw it just turned into a mess, and that's ultimately on me. We got to get these guys to be dialed in, and timeouts are hard. You get a lot going on, and people talking in a lot of ears and wiping faces and drinking water, and that's on me.
Brad, just how do you feel about this team now that you go into win or go home?
I think we're playing our best basketball. I really think we've shown that we can play with anybody in this tournament, and it is win or go home. We're guaranteed nothing from here on out. So, mistakes we can't make, and I think we've got some guys who've been in these moments before, leading us, and we'll go fight. I know this. I wouldn't want to play us.
Brad, have you noticed anything in particular in those moments when you're down 24 today? It's happened a lot this season. Like, is our guys stepping up in those leadership roles in those moments? What flips that switch for you guys?
Well, when I figure that out, I'm going to write the book, and no, they're resilient, they're tough, they're really good players, and it's a matter of, we've gone through everything, Brad, in terms of plus minus with certain fives on the floor, OERs with certain fives on the floor, what it looks like, and there's no true connection. I mean, tonight it was with the small ball lineup. I mean, we've also played great with Dane in there. It's just we've played great with guys off the bench. We've played great with both Terrence and Matt. It's just, there's no one connecting piece. It's just, I know this, I feel a lot more comfortable when Coleman's on the floor. And, you know, I think that's, you know, that's been a big piece of it, but I don't have that straight answer. I don't.
Yeah, Brad, your two best wins this year, both on neutral courts. Oh. Going into the postseason, is there anything to that? Like looking forward to maybe neutral courts, get away from home visiting?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's unfortunate this year. I mean, we didn't, and help me if I'm wrong, I mean, just the way the schedule worked in the league, I mean, we got no quad one games at home. I mean, like Indiana, and we got them on 19 straight days. So it's the way the schedule worked out. I mean, you know, unless Michigan State or somebody jumps to a quad one, you know, so just the way the schedule fell for us this year. So we played great at home. We've played some of our best basketball on the road. I thought we played great at Indiana without Terrence, and I thought we played great at Maryland, you know, first game of the year. So it's, they're all neutral now. Thank you.